Quakecraft is the oldest minigame on Hypixel, and I still love it. Let's talk about why. For those of you who do not know, Hypixel is by far the most popular multiplayer server on the Java edition of Minecraft. Hypixel was created by a popular YouTuber and adventure map creator known as Hypixel. The server initially started as a way for people who didn't know how to set up a Minecraft server to play his adventure maps with their friends online. As time went on, Hypixel began to add minigames to the server, with the first few including games like Quakecraft and Paintball. These minigames would quickly overtake adventure maps as the main focus of Hypixel, with the adventure lobby itself eventually being removed from the server. Ever since then, Quakecraft has remained on the server in one shape or another. Even though player counts in the game have definitely declined over time, the core game that existed so long ago can still be enjoyed 8 years later. The basics of Quakecraft are pretty simple. Quakecraft has two modes, solo and teams. In solo, everyone in a lobby of 8 to 12 people is armed with a railgun, which can kill any other player in the game with just one shot. The winner of the game is the first person to reach 25 kills. After firing a shot, players have to wait for a short cooldown timer to run out before they can fire again. Players can also use the railgun to activate a dash move, which quickly throws the player forwards. The dash move is a great mobility tool, and is also useful when fighting other players. The teams mode isn't really that different from solo. The only difference is that instead of free-for-all, you have two teams that are racing to be the first to get to 100 kills in total. Now, just from hearing the fundamentals of Quakecraft, you might not find it that interesting, but trust me, there's a lot more than what you might see at first glance. A feature that definitely sets Quakecraft apart from a lot of other shooting games is that everyone in the game has wall hacks. Remember how in multiplayer Minecraft the username of anyone else on the server is visible through walls? In a game like Quakecraft, this effectively allows you to see the positions of other players from anywhere on the map. Instead of trying to figure out a way to hide the usernames though, Hypixel seems to have fully leaned into the idea of a shooting game with wall hacks. This is because in vanilla Minecraft, when you crouch, your username is usually hidden from other players. In Quakecraft, though, crouching does not hide your username at all, as the chat will inform you whenever you try to crouch inside of the game. This design decision sets Quakecraft apart from other shooting games by increasing the speed of gameplay by making it much easier to find and get in engagements with other players. In fact, these wall hacks make the gameplay experience even more intense due to an entirely separate feature, which is Quakecraft's very generous aim assist. Since Hypixel is mostly intended to house casual minigames, Quakecraft's design allows players to get kills without needing to directly aim at an opposing player. As a result, shots aimed within a certain radius of a player will still count as a kill. However, the leniency on this aim assist is very, very broad and has many effects that could only work in such a game like Quakecraft. One of the most notable effects of the aim assist is a concept that I'll be calling pre-firing. Pre-firing is a concept from other shooting games like CSGO, in which a player will shoot down a choke point before an enemy peeks a corner, anticipating that someone will soon be there based on situational awareness. Even though the aforementioned wall hacks would already make this a common occurrence in Quakecraft's aim assist turns this concept to the extreme by allowing players to shoot a properly timed shot at a player that they can see is behind the wall. That's right, you can shoot around walls in Quakecraft, while also having a wall hack that allows you to figure out when a player will be exactly close enough for the shot to hit. These two features combined turn Quakecraft from silly and entertaining to downright insane. Behind the wall shots are especially prevalent on the map Towns, where the central area is composed of small, rigid walls that can all be easily shot around and lead to there being many tight corners throughout the choke point, which cause the starts of games to usually consist of a large amount of kills and deaths in the kill feed. For some reason, this characteristic that sounds insane on paper actually leads to a more fun and enjoyable game experience in practice. Another characteristic of Quakecraft that contributes to its fast-paced gameplay comes into play when players enter the air. Most Quakecraft maps have multiple levels that allow players to both snipe enemies from up high while also being able to jump off and join the fray below them. Since Quakecraft is a competitive shooting game, many have predictably used the high ledges in Quakecraft maps as an opportunity to seek those good old school 360 no-scopes. While these kills might make great YouTube content, from a gameplay sense, they are a little more than fluff. However, keep in mind that with a properly aimed and timed shot, a skilled player can still pick off a dashing player right out of the sky. But what if I told you that Quakecraft had one more aerial combat mechanic that puts the dash move to shame? Well, that would be the launch pad, which sends the player soaring off in the direction which they walked onto the pad, providing an excellent opportunity for aerial combat. To finish this video off, I'm going to try to pull back from trying to relay every single detail of what makes playing Quakecraft such an intense experience, and instead try to paint a picture of the hectic gameplay atmosphere that always keeps me coming back for more. When you play Quakecraft, the whole experience contains absolutely no downtime. Game design aspects like the dash mechanic, the speed effects active on every player in the game, the launch pads, and the instant respawn times combine to produce a gaming experience where each second of gameplay is filled with head-on combat. This constant head-on combat is made only more intense by the game's wall hacks, aim assist, and the dash move, which can make or break a combat engagement. I haven't even completely mentioned all of what makes this game so crazy, including power-ups, kill streaks, the in-game shop, headshots, collateral kill bonuses, achievement farming, and quests. In the end, the only way to understand the true extent of Quakecraft's engaging and addictive gameplay cycle is to give the game a try for yourself. Who knows, if you truly try to experience all of what Quakecraft can be, then maybe you might be able to see it as more than just a dead old game. Thanks so much for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to like this video because it really helps out the channel. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. If you have any thoughts, suggestions, or recommendations for future video topics, please leave those in the comments below as well. Regardless, I still hope that you enjoyed this video and had a good time learning about my favorite Hypixel minigame. See you next time.